Hello, hello, welcome back. Audio check, new CPU, so new setup here again. Gotta recheck the audio. I'm gonna be giving away some keys today. So if you're interested in a Sunfused upgrade, it's the Epic Pack. The Sunfused Epic Pack, this is what we're giving away today. A little out of breath because I was just carrying in groceries. I'm gonna start the giveaway now. Okay, giveaway Mr. Pandaria Classic Epic Edition raffle is started for viewer use. Giveaway to enter raffle. Okay, let me update the stream title. This will only be for Twitch. Okay. Yes, get those tickets in. Hey chat, is the audio all right? Can you guys hear me all right? We're just getting started here. I just want to make sure we got a lot to cover today. I want to make sure you can hear me all right before we do all that. Let's see here. Sounds good? Okay, good. Font size, let's bump that up. Loud and clear. Love to hear it. Awesome. Okay, let's rip the tweet real quick. Okay, so this doesn't increase your odds, but here's the tweet. Oops. There we go. Okay, it looks like we are all good. All right. Yes, get your tickets in. Okay, so I want to start today by looking at some sims. We can do some dev sims. I have some mage ones already prepared for us to look over. Okay. Little bit less of a massive grain of salt today because we're getting closer to the release. Also, because Mop is releasing soon, I've got the green tea, and you can see the colors are themed as well. You hear that? Beautiful sound. Okay. Dude, I could chug this whole thing in one go, I think. I'm gonna stop myself there, though. Okay. Let's check out the comparisons. Alright, so I went ahead and did a bunch of sims for Mage. These are all Mage sims. So what I was comparing is profiles for Frostfire, Spellslinger Frost, all sorts of different profiles, Arcane, all sorts of different profiles. Fire with Sunfury, Fire with Frostfire. I didn't really do separate profiles for Frostfire because it's kind of dead, so it's whatever. And I was looking at what performed best across various scenarios. So I want to like explain to y'all why I'm doing this and what the method is, because I feel like it's important to understand. Okay. So the best way to know what's going to be good is to just play it, right? To play it and see what happens. Once the patch comes out, there's going to be, you know, specs that are going to be meta, and it's just going to be based off of how they fit and what the playstyle looks like, and if it works well with the encounters or the dungeons they're doing, and the comp that they're running. And there's like a million different factors. You can't just look at Sims and know what's going to be meta. It's not a good way to do it. Or else, like, Frost would have been meta like a million tiers ago. Like, and even like last tier and the tier before. Like, Frost would always be meta if it was just about Sims. because Frost is always like, that's one thing Frost is really good at, is it's just simming high, right? But you don't really see those results from most players whenever it comes to the actual raid encounters, and it doesn't really fit well within a lot of the encounters, so it's just doesn't really get used. But PTR testing for the raid is done. There's no more raid testing on the PTR as far as we know. So I would love to test them and tell you how good they are by just playing them, right? But I can't. I can only do Mythic Plus. I can only really tier list them in Mythic Plus. So the next best thing is to try and figure out which profiles would, number one, which ones would be good to run in various scenarios, and then to compare them against each other. And again, this is not conclusive. You should take this with a massive grain of salt. But what we're looking at is how they perform at various target counts and what their burst level is, how much burst they have, to see if there are trends that emerge, to see if there is maybe ones that we should look into to see if they can do well. So again, this is not to tell you which one is meta. This is just to try and inform my decision, because we do need to update the tier list. We had a tier list for every boss that I did, and that has now been completely destroyed by the last tuning and the tuning before it. So we need to look at how those would stack up now to update the boss by boss tier list. And again, this is just for fun. I mean, obviously there's going to be like some specs that overperform, underperform. You know, we have to wait and see how things turn out. But if we're looking at individual bosses, we can start to try and figure out what might be best. So in the next raid, let's not start with the first boss, because the first boss is kind of a meme. It's called Mana Forge Omega. Okay, so we're going to go boss by boss. So first boss is Plexus Sentinel. Well, yeah, we'll start with the first boss. So on the first boss specifically, and I'm going to do this boss by boss, and then we can look at like the overall picture. So this is for Plexus Sentinel. Let me put text on the screen here somewhere. We'll just do it like this. Dude, Windows 11 is kind of weird. Okay. So on the first boss, with what we know now, based on our Sims over here. Okay, so yeah, single target is probably going to be the way to go. Frost and Sunfury both very high there, and I can tell you from playing this, I feel like it's actually pretty good of a fit for that boss. So actually in both cases, I would probably say Sunfury's a little bit better. There's a lot of mobility in this fight, like a lot of running around and trying to chase after the boss after it leaves. You have to like use your cloak to chase after it too. So it's like pretty involved. And then there's like ads you have to swap to. So with the new information that we have now, and the new tiering, I think, so Frostfire is just in the bin. That one I don't think you want to play at all. I think Sunfury is actually a great one for this fight. It's the first boss. You're probably just going to one-shot it anyways. So you might as well play a spec that has like cheat death I think that's a pretty good fit for it. I think for Spellslinger, you might have a bit of trouble on this one. I don't think Spellslinger Arcane is going to be too great on this. Sunfury is probably a better fit. I think Sunfury Arcane is probably A. I don't put it in S because I think it depends on how much the execute falls into the shield. So like if you have the execute falling into the shield on the last one, I think Sunfury would be S tier here. And it probably is going to be behind fire here. I'll put Spellslinger up here. We want to have a gap between this and fire. And then Frostfire Frost, I think is going to be really good with Spellslinger as well. I would actually put this up here too. I'm going to put Spellslinger in just the A tier together. There's like these ads in the fight that like you have to kill off. And I think having Meteor for like that extra burst damage is probably better. In fact, I'm going to put this one ahead of Arcane. So that's it for the first boss. Okay, next boss. So next up is Lumitar. See if we can make this look a little better over here. Nope, it's not going to cooperate. All right, that's fine. Just scooch this over, maybe a little bit more. There we go. Okay. So second boss, actually this could be like a third boss. You can do the ordering differently if you want. Yeah, Frost is good. Yeah. So this is another one of those fights where it's mainly single target. I think Sunfury Fire is going to be absolutely good on this fight. However, I will say Spellslinger Frost is also probably going to be pretty damn good on this fight. The reason why is because you can make use of splitting ice pretty well on like the little webs. So I think that one's going to be pretty good. I think Frostfire is also good, but the problem with it is if you try to Meteor the or like Comet Storm the little ads, they can like get away from you before your comet hits. So that's going to be annoying. You'll have to make sure that you attack the boss with that. So I'm actually going to put these down here. We'll add like a little gap. I think Sunfury Fire will be the best here. We're going to add a gap here. Arcane, again, it depends on like when the damage amp happens. I think it's probably going to be A tier on this fight. Spellslinger Arcane, let's see. So there are opportunities to hit the orbs on the little, like the little webs that are coming in. So it's probably up here with Frost. And then Frostfire, I don't think you play this at all. It's probably I hate myself tier. Yeah, so Fire, you can ignite cleave from the boss onto the webs, and it's just good overall. It's got cheat death, it's got execute, it's hyper mobile, which is really nice on this fight. Spellslinger Frost also really nice. The only reason I'm putting Frostfire Frost down here into A is because your Comet Storms, if you ever do them on the web, like if you need the Comet Storm the web thing, it's probably not going to hit right. I think Arcane could be also S tier here. But it depends on like when you do your cooldowns. It's going to be a little awkward if your cooldowns don't line up well for the amp. So for that reason, I'm putting it down here in A. I think it's a little bit harder to manage. You'll see Arcane pull ahead on the later bosses though. Yeah. I have bad eyesight, struggling to see the spreadsheet. We'll look over the spreadsheet in more detail in just a little bit. Also, keep in mind, guys, there's a giveaway going right now for a Mist of Pandaria Epic Key. The Shaw Infused thing. So if you want to enter that, do exclamation point giveaway in the chat. Only on Twitch. Completely given up on Devoker? No. No, it's just that what was there to report about Devoker? Devoker hasn't changed in how many patches? We covered Devoker as soon as the change happened. Mage has gotten 3 updates since then. What is there to say about Devoker that we haven't already said? So if there's new content for Devoker, if there's new tuning, new balancing, then we can have a conversation about Devoker again. But until then, I don't know. I mean, I would just be repeating what I've already said. You want me to repeat it? I can do that. But there's nothing new. This is all new for Mage. Unfortunately, Devoker doesn't get changes every week. or fortunately, depending on how you see it. But Flame Shaper is good. Yo, Napster, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Appreciate that. Arizona iced tea is goated, dude. Love this. All right. So that's the second boss. All right, let's move on to the next boss. So next up is Soulbinder. Oh, this is the Giga AoE fight. All right, so this fight is like single target, and then it's got short bursts where it's like crazy AoE. We're talking like 5 targets. Another case where Sunfury is going to be cracked. I think probably Frostfire, Frost, and Spellslinger, or sorry, Sunfury Fire, Frostfire, Frost, Sunfury Arcane, all going to be really good on this fight. I think Spellslinger and... Actually, we'll put Frostfire up here. This is actually one where I think Frostfire might be a little better. No, it needs to stay in the sea. The damage just isn't there. Yeah, so this is... there's like a time in this fight where there's like 10 target cleave. The only thing is you got to keep in mind like what you're losing in single target to go this build, right? So like you can see here, 13, 13, 13. Like if you're playing like the build for like single target, you're doing 15 mil here versus if you're playing Sunfury, you're doing 21. So honestly, I think these actually deserve to be lower. Yeah, I think this is more accurate. So yeah, Sunfury Fire would be this one. You'd play just the standard build. So you're, for the most part, you're like fighting 3 targets, and then you're going to be hitting like some AoE stuff for like 14 milli here. If you were to play Spellslinger Frost, this one's actually got a pretty good... Maybe we put Spellslinger Frost up here. I think this one actually has some better performance. And I think Sunfury Arcane is actually pretty good, but it lines up with the 2 minutes, so I'm not sure if it's really that great for it. I could see it going either way. The thing is the first one is kind of bad. I guess it depends on how quickly you kill the boss. So the first damage amp is at 2 minutes, and it's like perfect for Sunfury. It's perfect for Frost. For Arcane, you're working with 1.5 minute intervals, so the first one's going to be really cringe for you. You'd have to hold your cooldowns for it. And then the second one happens at 4 minutes 30 seconds. That one would be easier to fit it in there. It's 4:30, I believe, not 4:20. So yeah, I think this is probably fair to put Arcane in a tier below on this boss. Although it could definitely be S tier if you are able to line up your cooldown with the AoE consistently. But I think realistically it's this. So as you can see, Arcane a little bit low tier so far, but that'll be changing soon. Okay, moving on. So we have Forge Weaver. Okay, so Forge Weaver is going to be a fantastic Frostfire fight, a fantastic firefight, and I think it may actually be the best Sunfury. I think it's probably Sunfury because of the burst, and then fire. And I think Spellslinger is probably like fine on this fight, but I think Sunfury is going to be better. Let's see, what build would you play? You would play probably just a single target build with the cleave in there. So it's like what, 5 and 15. This is 5.5, 5.7, 14. I mean, yeah, it's going to be about tied, but there's the damage amp too to consider, right? So that's why I have Frostfire Frost up here and also Sunfury Arcane, because they're going to be really good in that damage amp. Especially in Execute at the very end of the fight, because you're going to go from damage amp into everyone gets sucked and pulled off the platform. And you need to be like running against the suck. And having your Arcane Soul window right after your cooldowns is going to be really, really good for that, I think. Oh, another note, keep in mind that the Spellslinger ones, the APL is probably wrong on these. So it's actually probably a little bit better than it looks. But who knows by how much. So that would be Forge Weaver. I think Arcane is going to shine on this fight. Okay, next up is going to be Soul Hunters. Okay, so this is just like a strictly 2 to 3 target fight with like an intermission of single target. So what we're looking for is a spec that has good performance at 1, 2, and 3 targets. Number 1, Frostfire Frost, going to be really good on this fight. I can tell you that right now. Number 2, Sunfury Fire, also going to be great. Actually, I think Fire would be even better because it has the cheat death and it's more mobile, and this fight is like extremely hectic. So anything that's good at 3 targets, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for an 11 here, right? So anything that's green. Pretty much this one, and also Spellslinger. The only issue is we're losing a little bit of performance here going into the Mythic Plus builds. I think it's more realistically like this one right here. Spellslinger Raid. I think it'll probably be a little bit worse. We'll put it A tier. For Arcane, 1 to 3 targets, it's like kind of okay across the board. Nothing spectacular. I think probably these two will be like together here in the A tier. And then, yeah, I think Frostfire is probably okay. I mean, you could probably put it B tier, but I'm going to keep it C tier for this one. Yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. I feel like there's not much else to this fight, so like I would probably just play Fire on it. I think Sunfury Fire is probably the way to go here. Fractalus. Okay, so this is a single target boss. Pure single target. So Frost specs are going to be pretty good on it. And also Fire is going to be pretty good on it. And I don't think you want to play Arcane. And then Frostfire is dead still. Actually, you do hate yourself if you play it on this fight. You actually hate yourself. If you play Frostfire on Fractalus, you literally hate yourself. There's no other way to put it. Okay, let's move on. So next up is going to be Nexus King. This is the last boss we tested. On Nexus King, the boss has... So it's like mainly single target. And then there's like an ad platform you go do. And then you come back to the platform and there's a little bit more of a phase. And then there's a damage amp that's very, very short. I think Sunfury Fire is going to be really good on this fight. I think Frostfire Frost, let's see, we would probably play... We'd probably play this one with DC, Death's Chill. It'd probably be Death's Chill Frost on this. I'm going to put it a tier lower though, because I think Fire, or I guess Caught doesn't really matter on this fight, so actually we could put it together. Okay, in Arcane... I think for Arcane, the damage amp window is going to help it. I'd probably put it here. I think Spellslinger's maybe a little tier lower. Same with Frost. I think all 3 specs are probably good for this. Hold on, let's try to think about this more. What would be the absolute best? So Fire doesn't have Caught on this. So it's hard to say, man. The damage amp happens after the platform. The platform itself is like around, well, I guess it depends on when you push the boss. This is tough. I have to see this fight again, but if I had to play this today, I think I'd probably do it like this. I think Sunfury is just going to be really good on this one. It seems like a pretty good fit. But if the ads die really fast, it's probably like this instead. I don't know. It's hard to gauge this one. We're just going to have to see the boss. Anyways, Sunfury's back. If you couldn't tell, like, anytime I'm clicking on a Sunfury, I'm like dragging it up, right? So it's pretty good. Okay, reminder, giveaway for the Mop Classic upgrade is going on right now. Let's look over this chart a little bit. So this is what I have. Looking at various target counts, I have it turning green if it's the best one, and then if it's white, it means it's within 20% of the green one. And then here's the actual target counts. So like single target, frost and fire, 2 target frost, 3 target fire and frost are kind of tied. At 4 and 5, Arcane pulls ahead with the crab build, Sunfury crab build. And then at 10 targets over here, fire is king with frost as well. And Arcane is back down. This is before accounting for things like funnel or execute. I mean, it's baked into the number, but I'm just saying if those things are important to you, then it might pull 1 spec ahead. So I think realistically, like in Mythic Plus, Arcane still, even though it's like behind the other two, I think it still has a pretty good chance. And of course, how much behind it is, like we don't actually know. It could be tied with them if the APL is not really good. Do I ever sim past 10? Yeah, I do. It's actually right here. See, 20. And then this is 20 with burst. It's frost, by the way. If we change this to show, those, you'll see frost take over. Here, let me do it. Here's what the, so this is 20 targets, and this is 20 targets, only 40 seconds. Right, you can see the gap grows even more here. Like fire and frost are up here, but frost is ahead. And then if you do just the burst window, Arcane is actually right here with fire over 40 seconds. And then frost just keeps going up. Also, so whenever I was exploring these, I do have Sims for each one. We can click on them individually. So like, here's the single target one. And for Sunfury Fire, it's running basically what you run right now. So this is your typical build with Hyperthermia, Phoenix Reborn, Unleashed Inferno. However, one thing to note is that as we go up in target count, so if we go up to 3 here, for instance, you'll see it slowly poking out right here. See, it's right behind. And then here it's almost tied. And then here at 5 targets, it's actually ahead. Let's pull up the 5 target sim. So for fire on this one, the build might surprise you. It's a little bit different than what we're playing on live. The way I did this is first I took the current APL and I gave it like different talent options. I didn't want to make any assumptions about what might be good, but I did kind of assume that you'd probably drop your From the Ashes and Phoenix Reborn because they buffed Pyroblast damage by 30%. And that's kind of big, right? It's Pyroblast and Flame Strike damage. So this is actually running Blast Zone. And to pick up Blast Zone, it's dropping From the Ashes and Phoenix Reborn. And instead of picking up From the Ashes, it's actually picking up Pyromaniac to get more Pyroblast or Flame Strikes. Napster asks, do you think Fire CDR gameplay restricts viability in Mythic Plus over Arcane? Yeah, it definitely makes it frustrating. And it does restrict it in some ways. No SKB? No. This is playing Sunfury, bro. Sunfury does not play Sun King's Blessing. Sun King's Blessing is like hard banned as Sunfury. You got to understand that Hyperthermia, this talent right here, it gives you Hyperthermia. This one too. That's like mixing water and oil. They don't mix. Sun King's Blessing and Hyperthermia are like 2 polar opposites. Because they do not interact with each other. In fact, they don't even fuck with each other. Like if Hyperthermia sees Sun King's Blessing in the street, like someone's getting shanked. The only way to play Sun King's Blessing if you're playing Hyperthermia is to cancel aura your Hyperthermia whenever the Sun King's Blessing is ready. They do not fuck with each other. But Unleashed Inferno is really good, and the change that they made is a huge buff to Unleashed Inferno, way more so than the other. Do I post these sims? I do for folks. I will post a spreadsheet for folks who are in my Metafy group. The Oven Elite. They will have access to them. I'll make them public later, but it'll probably be a couple weeks from now. What do you think will be played next tier? Fire, Mythic Plus, and Arcane in Raid? I think Fire probably in Raid. I think all 3 specs in Raid, actually. I think they're all really good. But if I had to choose one to play the entire Raid as right now, today, I would choose Fire. Sunfury Fire. If you would have asked me that a couple days ago, I would not say Fire. I would have said Arcane. But I think with the latest batch of changes, it favors Sunfury Fire a bit more. But I think in Mythic Plus, probably Arcane. I mean, it's probably Arcane, but I think you could play Frost just fine. I think Frost is going to be good. Like, honestly, I think if you're going for the most damage, Frostfire Frost might be the best bet in Mythic Plus. It's got the highest AoE burst. It's got the highest single target. It's got the highest uncapped AoE. And it also slows. And in some keys, you need those slows. It doesn't have Prio, though. Arcane does have that. So I could see you playing different things depending on what you're playing, but I think if you're playing Arcane, you probably want to play Sunfury, and I mean, maybe you play Spellslinger, but I feel like as Sunfury, you're kind of going to get mauled if you die at any point. It's just going to be really bad. So, I don't know. I feel like maybe you just play Frost to avoid that completely. Just Frostfire, Frost, lock it in. Healer tuning? Okay. So like the change that made the biggest shift is this one right here. So they completely gutted Frostfire. And then Spellslinger got like a little nerf, but then they giga buffed Sunfury. Oh, this is just the first batch. There's another one actually. It's this one right here. They took the tier bonuses and they kind of like baked them into the damage of the spec, just like Natty. Yeah. I need some luck for Ashes drop. Dude, Ashes is very easy to get. Just run to the instance. Don't even kill any bosses except for the last boss. Just run straight to the last boss. You don't have to kill anything on the way. And then just one-shot it. See if it drops. Do your next character. Do this like 20 times. You will get them out. Maybe not 20. Maybe like 40 times. You'll probably get them out. Yeah, there is a bit of RP though. Mr. Preheat, you were talking trash on Sunfury so bad last video. Now you say Sunfury's back, but only pyro damage change. Explain. Yeah, so the reason why is because of the talents that Sunfury takes. So to understand why 30% pyroblast damage would make such an impact for Sunfury, you have to think about how it's being modified. The reason why this buff is so good is because of Unleashed Inferno. This talent right here. It says, while combustion is active, your pyroblast, yada, 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 is increased. It deals 70% increased damage, okay? So we're taking that 30%, and then we're also having the 70% on it, right? Sunfury, number one, has a lot of uptime on this and wants to play Unleashed Inferno, has no downside to playing Unleashed Inferno, right? It also does a lot more damage with pyroblast. So, like, if we go to the single target sim for Sunfury, right here, and we look at the percentage of damage that Pyroblast does, you can see the overwhelming majority of the damage that Sunfury does is Pyroblast, right? Now let's go to Frostfire. You can see it's a lot less, right? It is still like a pretty decent amount, and this is with the buff, keep that in mind. So like, you know, the buff is definitely helping a bit. But I'm just saying there's a pretty big gap here because other spells are doing a lot of damage too, whereas for Sunfury, it's like mostly Pyroblast, overwhelming majority Pyroblast, right? So the bottom line is that a 30% damage buff to Pyroblast is a lot bigger than it is for Sunfury than it is for Frostfire. The set is still trash? Well, no, the set's like nerfed. All the sets are kind of trash now. That's what they wanted to do. It says, developer note, many Mage tier bonuses were substantially overtuned despite Mage's generally average performance. So the other side of this, right, because there's two ends to it, is that Frostfire set was gutted, and this was like a 40% damage increase before. So this is the reason why Frostfire was so good, is because the set bonus was completely carrying it. And then for Sunfury, it was pretty good, but it like wasn't anywhere near as good as the Frostfire one, and they gutted both of them so that they're like kind of in line with each other. So like that means Frostfire loses a lot. Plus, on top of that, UI is better for the Pyroblast damage, and you don't have any downside to playing UI. And Frostfire wants to play SKB, and with this change, SKB and UI are actually pretty close. They're within like 0.5% of each other. No, it's more than 50%. It's more like 70% or something like that. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, here we can show that. Let me go back. I can give you the exact percentage. So post buff, Pyroblast damage, or wait, hold on. I was looking at time spent. Pyroblast damage. Yeah, okay, this is the one we wanted to look at. Ignite damage is coming from Pyroblast, so like ignore that. We have to subtract this 30. Yeah, you're about right. Yeah, that's correct. Because we have to not look at Ignite damage, because Ignite is coming from Pyroblast damage, right? So like if we look at it, so this chart has 30.5. So basically the maximum is, hold on, we can figure this out. So out of 69.5, so 36.2 divided by 69.5, so 52% of the damage. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I misspoke. 52% of the damage is coming from Pyroblast for Sunfury, whereas for Frostfire, Pyroblast is only doing 19.6. So we have to subtract the Ignite value first. And this isn't exactly right because the Ignite contributions are coming from different spells, but let's just ignore that for a second because that's too complicated. So it's doing like half. Like you're getting half the value as Frostfire, right? Only 26% roughly of your damage is coming from Pyroblast as Frostfire, whereas for Sunfury, it's double that. So a 30% damage bonus to Pyroblast not only gives you more damage because of Unleash Inferno, it's also like doubly effective for Sunfury, just like straight up. Does that make sense? Does that make it clear for why it's a bigger buff? But yeah, basically because they buffed all of these things so much, fire is like really easy to just kind of like run away from you. It's really easy for, okay, you know how I made out that video, like the video just a couple days ago, like saying like Blizzard can't balance fire? It's like not even really their fault necessarily. They've kind of painted themselves into a corner where like the slightest adjustment for fire, you know, okay, you know how like in the shower, if you ever had like a really shitty shower, like, and you move it like literally 1 millimeter and the water just goes from like extremely cold to like burns your flesh off. That is like Blizzard trying to tune fire. Like whenever they make like the tiniest adjustment, they're like, oh, you know, it's too cold. We need to just bump up the heat a little bit, right? They literally tap it with their finger to make it go up just slightly. And then suddenly it's fucking burning your skin off. That's actually what it's like, I think, for them to tune fire. So like, I don't even really blame them that they can't do it. But I mean, I guess you could blame them because it's like they created it's like their faucet, right? Or like their handle. So like they could just mess with it behind the scenes to make it so it works better. But I mean, I don't know if they have the time and effort for that right now. So anyways, yeah. So it's a way bigger deal for Sunfury than it is for Frostfire. And also, yeah, hyperthermia and stuff like that. Anything that interacts with Pyroblast is like really good. So like hyperthermia is really good. Pyromaniac's really good. Anything that contributes to Hot Streak is really good. Unfortunately, the current design of fire is like so uptime oriented that it kind of kills a lot of talent variety for us. You know, like stuff like Meteor does not interact with Unleash Inferno at all. There's no Meteor impact here, right? It doesn't affect the damage. So Meteor's like dead if you take this talent pretty much. And on top of that, Meteor doesn't give us Hot Streak. It doesn't give us heating up. So like, I would love to see fire go back to the days when it wasn't about having combustion up the whole time, when it wasn't about constantly getting CDR, when it wasn't about all these random combustion procs and all that bullshit. Back in the days where you could press other buttons and they were good, you could press Living Bomb and it was a good global because it actually did damage and that's why you wanted to press it. You could press Meteor, it was good burst AoE. Those were good times. The problem is that shifting the spec to be purely focused on like the uptime side of things has like killed off that variety. So it's made it so that like Living Bomb only works if it's passive. It's made it so that Meteor just doesn't work at all. It's made it so that Pyroblast damage can't be too strong. If I were a dev for a day, here's what I would do for fire right away. I would do a rework. And number one, I would make Living Bomb a button again. And I would make it actually do damage. Okay, but the cost would be that you have to press a global for it. That could balance it. Number two, all this bullshit with cooldown reduction, out. Okay, no kindling anymore. Just remove the kindling talent completely. Literally put this fiery rush talent up here. Let it path straight down to the middle. And then on this choice node, break up this choice node. This is no longer a choice node. It's only Unleashed Inferno. And it has a damage bonus of like 80%, but it does not give cooldown reduction. Okay. And then take Sun King's Blessing, redesign it. No longer gives you combustion, but increases the damage of your next Pyroblast by 360. And put it on a choice node with hyperthermia. Because these two being separate, like, does not make any sense. Like, it should be a choice node. This does not work with hyperthermia, right? Sun King's Blessing and hyperthermia do not work together. So they should be together as one talent. It should be a choice. You should not be able to take both. So make Sun King's Blessing a choice node with hyperthermia. Make it so it doesn't give you combustion. Instead, it just makes your Pyroblast hit really hard. Maybe readjust how many hot streaks it takes. Maybe make it so you can maybe... you know, you can like stack it up while you already have it, right? So you could like hold essentially 2, but not really. You'd overcap if you were to get too close, but you know, give you some leeway on when to press it. Unleash Inferno, remove the cooldown reduction on it. Remove kindling just completely, just delete it. And that way you still have burst because you're taking Unleash Inferno, and then also make it so Unleash Inferno also buffs the damage of every fire spell. Right? Make it so that it's not just the ones that's listed. Make it so every spell that you do as fire while you're in combustion is buffed. So that way you could Living Bomb, you could Meteor, your Scorch, well, I guess Scorch damage should also be addressed. But yeah, that's what I would do. And what the result of this would be is like, you'd have a lot of burst again. And it wouldn't be oriented towards cooldown reduction because you'd have to tune the numbers up to make up for the lost combustion time. So like combustion would be like a real cooldown again, and it would be like kind of a 2-minute cooldown. It'd be more like 1 minute 48 seconds because of shifting power. But that's fine. Just make it work that way. And tune Pyroblast damage up so that it is roughly the same damage that it is right now without having the combustion uptime be such a big factor. I think that would make... it would make crit better as a stat generally, and it would also make your cooldowns feel like cooldowns again. So that's what I would like to see. I would also be in favor of just removing shifting power. I'm not a huge fan of it. Yeah, we can just drop that talent. I'm okay with that. Delete shifting power. I would also like to see on the class tree them take away Caught from Fire and just put it on the tree. That way, like, Arcane and Frost can actually have access to it. That'd be nice. I liked it how it used to be in MoP. In MoP, you could choose between double ice block versus G-Invis versus Caught. That choice was, like, perfect. You need like 50% critter or it'd be so boring to see these. Well, no, you'd also have Living Bomb and Meteor to kind of fill the time. And you could also adjust the cooldown on Fire Blast and Phoenix Flame quite a bit. Because remember, the only reason why they had to nerf those cooldowns is because you were having too much uptime. Too much combustion uptime, right? So you could adjust those pretty easily if you were to make it more cooldown oriented. I'm not saying this is the full picture and then like I've already done all the math and figured it out. I'm just saying these are the like this is the direction I would take it. And it would probably take like a whole beta cycle of like having it play this way for people to like figure out you know, what it needs for it to be refined. But that's the direction I would like to see it move towards. Okay, again, guys, we have a raffle going, and there's not that many people entered, so you have really good odds right now. Mista Pandaria Epic Edition. It's this. It's a $80 value. You get a Serpent Skywriting mount. You get a Shaw Touch Cloud Serpent on Classic. You get the Riding Tiger on both. You get a pet for both. You get a T set on both. You get Transmog set, you get a level 85 boost on Mop Classic, and you get 30 days of game time. So even if you don't even want to play Mop, this is great. It's only for NAOC South America, so if you're EU, sorry. You can't win. Only NA and OC in Americas. By the way, Arcane gains 62k single target by changing Void Core to... Oh, okay. Yeah, the trinket. Yeah, that trinket's really good. It's the little critter. I think pretty much everyone's going to use it unless they nerf it. Can I remove your entry? If you win it, I will just ask if you're NA and then I will not give it to you. I can't remove your entry. Yeah, we can do Dev Sims. So let's see. Let me get the latest open here. That's AoE. That's AoE. I think this is what we're looking for. Okay. There we go. So this is plain Flame Shaper. Generate combinations. This is pure single target. Give it some options here. Save. Copy this. Scale Commander. Save. 5 minutes, one boss. There it is. Send it. You worry about him? Guys, if you're on YouTube and you want to participate in a giveaway, unfortunately, the giveaway tool I use does not capture YouTube chat. So you will have to move to Twitch just for the giveaway. But if you hear me call your name, then I can communicate with you via YouTube. That's okay. Yeah, I mean, Devoker's not looking too hot, guys. Maybe there's more APL stuff to be done, but... Oh, what's the item level actually? Hold on. Okay, hold on. We can fix some item level stuff. There is some item level stuff to fix. Let's fix it. Okay, so let's do... The current item level is... 723. Okay, let's do an override on all the gear. I know some of these items can't go to 723, but let's just fucking do it anyways. Just for fun. Okay, there we go. Now we fix the gear. Alright, let's just assume that this is what we got. And then we have to redo this. So fun. I love clicking. Copy, skill commander. Okay, there it goes. Okay, it's going again. These will be out soon. Wow, the amount of entries in the giveaway just doubled compared to before I mentioned it. Pretty sure these are going to look the same way as Dev was looking last time we checked it. Because I don't think much has changed. But let's see. Here's the results. Yeah, okay. Flame Shaper still pretty much tied with Mage is what we knew last time. Mage did go up just a little bit. Still looks good. And then where the fuck is Scale Commander? Jesus, how far do we have to scroll for a Scale Commander here? Any day now. Any day now, Scale Commander. Any day now. Yep. Feel free to show up whenever you're ready. Come on out, Scale Commander. We won't bite. Any day now. Yep. Feel free to just show yourself whenever. Dude, did I even select it? Like, what the fuck? Hold on. We gotta redo this. I'm gonna make a copy of this, and then we'll click Run Sim again. I'm gonna turn this one off. Why is Scale Commander not showing up? 5.691 versus Mage has 5.8, Fire is 5.7. Yeah, I mean it's right up there. Okay, there's something wrong with this sim. But yeah, Skill Commander basically doesn't exist right now. I don't have the new APL, I guess, for it. Something's up with that for sure. Flame Shaper is fine though. Do you know if Shadow is dead now? I don't know. I haven't run any Sims for Shadow recently. It was like pretty fucking good. I know they nerfed it quite a bit. What did they do to Shadow? Let's see. So Hunter got like its third nerf in a row. That's fun. What is Shadow up to? Let's see. What's funny is they nerfed this for Skill Commander. This was really only for AUG that this was a thing. I did write about it in my little write-up though. Sims around 5.6. I mean, that's like kind of there with Devoker. That's not too bad. Command Squadron from the set bonus will now be limited to casting up to 8 pyres. The pyre damage has been increased by 25%. Pyres can now be cast behind you again. Essence Bomb damage reduced, reverted the Consume Flame intended for... Oh, this is a healing thing. Fix issue where Consume Flame would not benefit from Scorching Embers if they were less than 2 seconds remaining on Fire Breath. Okay, that's good. Essence Bomb damage increased by 33%. Inner Flame, well, so that's after nerfing it. So it was 500 and then went to 250 and that's increased by 33% of this. So that's bringing it back to nowhere near where it was. Inner Flame increases damage over time by 15% instead of 25. Yeah, pretty big nerfs. Priest. Okay, so they shifted more of it to Mind Blast, I guess. Now increases my Mind Blast damage by up to 300%. Oh, that's Discipline, sorry. Void Blast damage by 30% was 40. Void Torrent damage by up to 60 was 200. What the f... What? That's crazy. Damn, they cut this in half too. That's crazy, man. Oh, it's just a healing. Wait, did they change Essence Bomb? Hold on, we gotta look at the actual tooltip. That might actually be a buff then. Uh, 530 changelog. It was 500. No, it was 400. 530. Okay, so it is a buff for a dev. That's good. The damage on Essence Bomb wasn't like doing anything. Okay, so that means it's even more important to play around getting Essence after you engulf. My stream keeps pausing for no reason. Is anyone else observing this? Or is it just this one viewer? It says I haven't dropped any frames. Looks good to me. Okay. Yeah, people always assume it's the person who's streaming whenever they have internet issues. Oh, happens on Twitch, but not only your channel. Looks good. Okay, all fine here. I don't know, guys. No drop on my end. Yeah, it might just be a regional thing. It might just be the Twitch is fucked up for some people. Sorry about that. I don't know what I can do about it. Just bear with me here. Yeah. Okay. It's a Twitch ad blocker thing. Oh, is that true? Big if true. Turbo Gang, that's right. Okay, so yeah, there's your dev sims. Don't play Flame Shaper don't play Scale Commander. Flame Shaper looks okay. I think this is probably going to go up because, well, actually the belt is on here, so it's probably actually going to go down. This will probably go down just ever so slightly. But like 5.6, that's okay. It's not terrible. And then Scale Commander, I don't know what the fuck's going on with Scale Commander, man. Yeah, the other trinket probably gives it a bit, so maybe swap out Void Core for the little mites. And then maybe remove the belt. That'll probably be about equivalent. So yeah, it's probably sitting at the high 6 or maybe 7. So 5.6, 5.7, somewhere in that range. No, we'd also have to remove the enchant. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff in here that's wrong, right? The belt is in here, the enchant's in here. This neck doesn't go to 732. This ring doesn't go to 732. This ring doesn't go to 732. Yeah, I'm not gonna go in and fix every little thing. We're just looking for a ballpark. Why does Blizzard hate Frostfire? Dude, Frostfire is down so bad. It makes me sad. Make sure you also remove the helmet enchant and swap the belt. And replace the gear to new season gear if you want to get the number better. Ignite's hard to scale for them. You're sick of playing Sunfury? Oh man, did you not play Frostfire all this tier, dude? Frostfire was sick this tier. As soon as they buffed it, oh man, I've been having a lot of fun playing Frostfire. You missed out, you just didn't play it when it was available. I played Frostfire on my first ever Muggsy kill. It was fucking amazing. But yeah, I get sad whenever they gut Frostfire, and it's happened so many times. I don't know, I feel like Frostfire just kind of like, I don't know if they knew what they wanted to do with Frostfire. It was like a cool concept. They've changed the hero talents for Frostfire so much throughout this expansion. It's kind of alarming. Because like, if you remember in Nurubar Palace, Frostfire was also really fucking good, right? And it had a whole different thing going on then. You were playing SKB, but you would get Frostfire empowerments from every SKB proc. And so that was interesting. And then they, in this patch, you play UI with it, which is a little weird, but still fun. And then now it's just dead. You just don't play it. You know, it's weird on the PTR. If you try to arcane intellect yourself, with int, it says more powerful spells already available. Kind of annoying. I think it's because of the talent. I think this talent is bugging out. Here, let's give them a report. Frostfire should make Frostfire Bolt instant crit, not give Empower Frost, Empower Fire, but just consume Empower Frost and Fire, as if we spent Inferno Blast and Phoenix Flame. We gain and consume right away. Interesting. So wait, you just have 2 excess Frost insta then, right? Oh, no, it's using both. Okay. Oh, am I too hasted up for Scorch? Yeah, I am. Okay, I need a don't Scorch tracker on PTR. I think we probably want to fresh improve Scorch with how hyperthermia is better now. I have to get used to that. Yeah, probably do like improve Scorch like right at the very end there. Time it like right at the end of your combustion. Oh, it'd be sick if we could carry this into combustion. It's not gonna happen though. We have to just send it. This is almost enough time. See, it falls right there. Oh. Okay, hold on. I need to get we go. Yeah, because I have so much goddamn haste right now. I'm sitting at 50% haste, just natty. Kind of crazy. Some meaty pyros? Yeah, how big were they hitting for? Let's see. I had a pyro hit for, or crit for 6 million. That's pretty cool. Yeah, dude. What is this haste? What's funny is like, it's actually going to go a lot higher than this. Because right now I'm not wearing full new gear, right? How do I join the giveaway? So if you're on YouTube, you got to move over to Twitch for the giveaway specifically. The bot I use to dole it out or to like do the raffle, it only works on Twitch. I'm sorry. You can keep watching on YouTube. Just like open up a tab, go into Twitch, and then just write a message or just do the exclamation point giveaway in my chat on Twitch. And then whenever I pull the winner, if you're on YouTube, I'll just give it to you still. But you have to enter on Twitch. Right now, we have 52 minutes left on it. I might wrap it up early because we actually have 2 of them to give away. So if you don't win the first one, there's going to be a second one. In your new video about the recent Mage changes, you showed the new numbers on different builds. Were those simmed on single target, AoE, or cleave? It was single target, but I've since done this, made this sheet for all sorts of different scenarios. So the old one was just comparing single target old versus new. This one is showing it with all sorts of various target counts, and the ones in green are the best performers. And I also made like a little chart over here to show you. So you can just see the color codedness, right? It's like fire and frost here, fire here, arcane, arcane, fire, frost. Made that last night. What's poppin'? Not much. Is also possible. Hey Pre, is there also a possible Ignite Mythic Plus build for Sunfury Fire without Flame Strike, which is viable? You're gonna lose a lot of damage. You could play it, but I don't know if I'd recommend it. Okay, what you could do instead is you could play like without Living Bomb, and you could just play Flame Strike if you want to have like a different setup. I have this. One second. Where is it? Okay, so I did various sims here. So this is single target 5 minutes. This is 3 targets 5 minutes. This is 5 target 5 minutes. And this is 10 targets 2 minutes. It's more of like a burst one. And then they're color coded and the talents are down here for which one it's actually playing. And so the green one is just our standard single target build. So you can see it's losing like 6% at 5 targets, which isn't really that bad. And then at 10 targets, it's losing 20%. So that's pretty bad. Overall, it's hard to pick a winner, right? So the current winner for Mythic Plus is this red one. But if you look, the red one is actually strictly worse than this new build, Blast Zone Pyromaniac. Because Blast Zone Pyromaniac is better at single target. It's better at 3 targets. It's better at 5. It's better at 10. So like there's just no case where you would play the standard Mythic Plus build that we play right now. But if you want to play something funky, you can play this yellow one. The yellow one loses the least amount of single target. It's actually probably the most balanced of the 3, or of the 5, I guess. Because it only loses 3% single target. It only loses 4% 3 targets. It only loses 9% 5 targets. It only loses 8% 10 targets. So like, it loses, but it never loses more than single digit, right? Whereas the Blast Zone Pyromaniac one is down 17.5% in single target. So honestly, this Hyperthermia plus Flame Strike one, this one right here, where you just don't take the Living Bomb Talents, this might actually be the best Mythic Plus build. It's just, it won't outperform any of the others, like across any category. It's just like a, kind of like a compromise, I guess you could say. But because it's 6%, or I guess it's 9% behind Pyromaniac at 5 targets, like 8% behind in 10 targets, I feel like people will play the Blast Zone Pyromaniac instead. So it's either this orange one, which has the Living Bomb Talents, or it's no Living Bomb Talents, and you just basically play single target, except for you also add in Mark of the Fire Lord and Quick Flame. And you drop Improved Scorch. Should I gear up Season 3 rating haste greater than verse, haste greater than mastery? You should just run top gear. Top gear is always the best one to run. Don't worry about stat weights. Stat weights get flipped around a lot. You can see what it's running in this sim though, if you want to see the stats it's running. This is the best combination. I even did a top gear on it to see if I could get it to like move around some of those, but it wanted minimal crit, and it actually wanted a little bit of verse, but yeah, it has like a bit of mastery. The stat distribution is like here. It's got 31,000 haste. So what's the stat distribution? In total, we're working with 4,083 plus 31,688 plus 15174 plus 7697. So it has 58,000 stats total. So like half of it is haste. Three, 1, 688. Bye. 54% haste. %25 mastery. And then the other two is, you know, half of 25. A little bit more on the verse side. But yeah, it's like over half is dedicated to haste. Do you share the Sims with the graph? I mean, it's available for my for folks who are on or in my Metafy group, the Oven Elite. I usually post this stuff later, but it's not so much about the Sims, it's about just taking the time to run it yourself. It's not, none of this is like private or secret. You can just check the Discord and do it yourself. I've just done the work and I share it with the folks who are in my Metafy group. But I report on all of it to you guys for the stream. Okay, let's go again. Do I have Blessed Up? Yes, I do. All right. Oh, we might be able to make it. Yes. We carried over the GI. I love to see it. Is the Phoenix doing anything? The Phoenix is... I mean, the meteorites are actually doing decent damage here. This is like pure single target too. Average meteor 480k, average greater power blast 1.4, average arcane surge 890k. It is flame striking sometimes, which is funny. Yeah, it's just funny that like nothing does damage except for pyroblast. And that's what they buffed. Good shit. Oh, dude, the CPU. Like, yeah. Dude, let's talk about this. Okay. So I got a AMD, and it doesn't even matter what model, as long as it has X3D in the name. Okay, if you do this, I cannot recommend it enough. Holy shit. This is not a hashtag ad, but I feel like I have to tell you guys. So I didn't know how big of a difference it would make. And it's insane. Guys, the difference between any other CPU and one that has a big L3 cache, which the X3D has, like, that's the whole thing with it, is it has like a big ass L3 cache, on World of Warcraft is night and fucking day. All right, because I had a pretty good CPU before. It was an Intel 12900K i9, I think. And like, that thing was a piece of shit. And like in benchmarks, it didn't seem like it was that bad. Benchmarks online said it was actually pretty good, and it was only like a minor upgrade, me going to like, let's say fucking 7 whatever X3D, right? I was like, oh, that seems good. But so the L3 cache makes all the difference, because apparently the more unoptimized your game is, the more dog shit the game is, the better it just ends up being. And so like for some reason, if you even get like an old X3D, like one of the shitty ones, like the 780, you don't have to get the top of the line one. I just went for the biggest one because I was like, fuck it, they've like figured out the tech, and I don't want to have to like turn it on like X3D mode. I just want to play. You can get like a 780 X3D, and that's like totally fine. But I went for the 9950, then the 9950 X3D, because it's cheap, dude. Like they're actually crazy cheap. And like honestly, I think an X3D, like a 5800 X3D, like total piece of shit compared to the Intel one as far as like benchmarks are concerned, which is, you know, bullshit apparently for a while. It looked like that would be way worse, right? But then, after seeing the performance difference of the L3 cache, I think it would actually be better. I'm pretty sure you can buy a cheap X3D CPU and find an immediate upgrade for your system if you don't have an X3D. And it's actually insane the difference it makes. Where you especially notice it is whenever you go do PTR testing, or if you go do like raids with like more than 20 people, the difference between having the X3D and not is just, it's kind of insane. Like I don't think you're ready to see it, because you will think there's like no way it's that much of a difference. Because that's what I thought. I was like, oh, it's got to be hype. It's got to be like, you know, people never really know like how their CPU is unless they literally went from like a other CPU right before it. Like unless you're directly upgrading, it's hard to know the difference. I can tell you from experience, after doing the upgrade myself, it is just not even a comparison. If you play World of Warcraft a lot, if this is like your main game, you should get an X3D. Straight up. Hard stop. Just whatever other CPU you have, just don't even fucking use it. Just get an X3D. If you can afford it. And they are very cheap. You can get a very cheap X3D because there's like old ones that are, you know, super affordable, right? You don't have to go crazy with it like I did. And you'll probably be downgrading your CPU if you do that, but like you'll see in WoW, it's a huge upgrade. It's actually insane how much of an upgrade it is. Is there an X3D equivalent for Intel socket? I don't think so, no. Dude, I was Intel fanboy for like forever. And this is the first time since the original, what was it? The Zambezi? What the fuck was the old ass multi-core AMD that they made like a billion years ago? Start with a Z. I had one of those. That was like literally over a decade ago. It was old as fuck. I think I was in like high school, maybe. Anyways, that was like the only AMD I ever tried. I was Intel like all the way except for that one CPU, and I didn't like it. And then now I'm just like all in on Intel or AMD. I like fuck Intel, dude. Nah, their CPUs ain't shit, dude. AMD's got that shit on lock. Maybe for other games it's different, but like for WoW, dude, I mean, you're actually just trolling if you don't have an X3D AMD. Actually trolling. Reviews don't show how much better the X3D is because benchmarking MMOs consistently is basically impossible, and that's where the X3D makes a difference. Yes, it is specifically for WoW, and from what I understand, it's also for games that have bad optimization just in general, that it makes a big difference. Here, I can give you more information. This is like more of a analytical approach. Maybe some of you will understand this. Most games have pretty bad code locally in general and are very low issue rate. The issue rate is why you don't see much gains by getting a bigger processor with more cores in gaming scenarios. Most are also pretty back-end memory dependent because they often chain dependency of the code to run. Future extension needs prior execution to complete, and write its result to memory so it can read that. Code locally makes it hard for smaller caching stages to keep all the code and the data where it needs in the cache. X3D cache helps a ton with that, even though it's pretty high latency compared to, say, L1, L2. X3D also helps with the back-end latency by being so big they can often commit to that and cycle it back to the next thread asking for it. WoW and a few other old, poorly optimized games also have a massive issue with optimization. Critical working data sets for some of the core executions is why the X3D gains on some games like WoW tend to be a lot larger than others on average. For gaming, more memory closer to the cores to absorb latency and poor optimization and just the inherent low issue rate of the game code is a big deal. Intel is actually looking to move one of their server technologies into their next-gen desktop CPUs similar to the X3D. So maybe Intel will have something soon. But yeah, essentially the expert I was speaking with was telling me that anything with the X3D would probably be an upgrade to what I was running. And that was true. That was 100% true. So I cannot recommend it enough. What GPU am I using? I still have a 3080, dude. I think it's got I think this 3080 has like at least 1 or 2 years left in it. Honestly. Like, I don't feel like I need to upgrade my GPU at all. I'm just going to ride this 3080 out until it cannot work anymore, and it seems fine to me. Like, maybe I'll play other games and I'll need to upgrade my GPU, but I feel like at this point, the 3080 is just doing everything I need it to. So I don't really see a reason to upgrade it. I can even play other games that are like really intensive, right? Like Monster Hunter Wilds was totally fine. In fact, I would say my CPU was actually holding me back on that one too. More of a CPU issue. Why is Sunfury back? Yeah, buffs. In Factoria, it makes a big difference. Yeah. Anything that's like really CPU heavy, I think it's going to make a big difference. But all I'm trying to say is that if you're looking for a new CPU and you're like looking at benchmarks and you actually care about this shit and you research it yourself, like do not forget about the fact that you're playing an MMO. And that has a big impact on like what actually might be good. Don't get baited into like picking up some CPU that doesn't have some gigantic L3 cache like the X3Ds do. It makes so much of a difference. GPU doesn't matter much in WoW. Went from 3080 to 5090. Barely noticed a performance increase in WoW. Yeah, exactly. But God, the CPU diff, dude. It's the difference between this current CPU and what I was using before. It reminded me of whenever I upgraded like my I had like a 780 NVIDIA, and I went from like from that to like a 2080. So like we're talking before they went RTX, before any of that shit. And it was like such a massive difference, not in WoW, but like other games where I was just like, holy shit. That's what it felt like, even though on benchmarks it's like 10% ahead. Yeah, bullshit. My frame rate went from like 40 FPS in like super raid settings where like there's a shit ton of people, like 40, 20, somewhere like in that range, 20 to 40 FPS. It went from that to like 160 solid. And I have it capped at 160. So yeah, it like 8x'd my frames. Pretty sick. Sims, I was showing those earlier. So we were looking at single target versus 2 target versus 3 target versus 4 target, 5 target, 10 targets. So there's a big jump here. 20 targets, and what your burst is in that 20 target window, 40-second window on the 20 target burst. And just kind of comparing, because again, guys, Sims aren't like the best way to know what's going to be meta, but we don't have any more raid testing to test these specs out, because we're getting changes so late in the PTR cycle. So really the only thing I can do other than test Mythic Plus is just like try to look and see if there's maybe something one of the specs is really good at in Sims. And basically I did this just to see like where they excel. Frost, it seems like, has that 2 target niche now. Arcane has like the 5 targets. And then otherwise, it's kind of like Fire and Frost. Both good. Oh, let's go ahead and pull a winner. All right, so last call on this before I pull the winner. Let's do a quick game of GeoGuessr first. Okay. Do they really not have this for Mists of Pandaria? Pandaria, hear this. I'm just blind. All right, guessing locations in Pandaria. Oh, this is I can see the brewery over here. Hold on. This is over here. Is it timed? We have like time to guess this, right? Okay, so we're up on the hill. We can see the Jade Forest over there. This is actually like when you first come in, I'm pretty sure, because Jade Forest is actually kind of close nearby. We've got like the temples here too. So it's actually like in this area, I think. Can I see the farm? All right, so what we're looking at here, this tower, I believe is this guy here. Either that or it's this building. I think we just crossed the bridge. There's a giant hill next to us. I think we're like close on this walkway. And then there's this mountain range, and then coming in, we're right on this hill. I think right over this hill, we would see the brewery in this direction. Oh, let me get this direction again. So here's this big ass fort, and then this is like the walkway over, and it's right next to a hill. We can't really see any water. I can't tell what this building is. The fuck is that? Wait, is this from the is this from the farm? That's where the elementals are. So elementals are up here. I think we're like right here. Somewhere in this area. Are you allowed the backseat? Yeah. I'm pretty sure we're like right here, right? It's like, or maybe it's like right here actually. We can see this building this way. It's gotta be over here actually. It's gotta be somewhere in this area. This building we see right here, I think. Either it's this one or this one. Maybe we're south. Maybe I'm a little off here. We could be like right here, actually. I'm gonna guess here. Oh, man. Okay. Damn. It was right here. Damn, dude, I couldn't see any water, though. That's why that's crazy. Because there's actually water on both sides, but for some reason I couldn't see any water from where I was. All right, next one. Oh, shit. Okay, yeah. So this is the Vale. Oh, this is after, Nyalota. But, yeah. Okay. So here's the statue. We're like right in front of the entrance to, like here's Siege of Orgrimmar, right? It's like right here. Siege of Orgrimmar is here. If we line up with this, the entrance to Mogushan Palace, and then we line it up, it's like basically equidistant here from this to the Horde area. So I'm pretty sure we're like right here. I think we're actually like right on this border here. Let me see. There's that purple shit. There's all the Kringle stuff. I think we're literally right here. Yeah. Let's fucking go. Okay. Oh, yeah, so Jade Forest, near the cherry blossoms, so it's like to the west. I guess there's two cherry blossoms, but I think it's this one. So we're like right where the cherry blossoms and the bridge meet. Oh, it's not even a bridge, it's like stairs. Okay, it's just stairs actually. It's like right here. It's on the edge of the cherry blossoms. There's a temple over here. And then this is heading out of the zone. We've got this little gazebo above us. I think it's like right here. Oh shit, wait, what? Oh no, dude, I was misinterpreting this as cherry blossoms. Fuck me, dude. That's actually like super far off. Damn, bro, I thought this was the cherry blossoms. Nope, that actually makes sense now. That I zoom in a little bit better, it's... I wish I could zoom in on the map super far in. Yeah, this was like very obviously cherry blossoms. Fuck. We ruined that one. Okay. Big tree. There's Heart of Fear. The ledge is over here. Okay, so we got a bunch of big trees. This is gonna make it hard to determine the exact spot, but we can try and eyeball this. Okay, so Heart of Fear is in this direction. Here's... to make this full screen, I want to make this part pop out. Guess we can't. Okay, I think this structure is this over here. So we're looking at them both in the same direction. It's probably in this area. And then there's this big ass crangled tree right next to us, another one. And then this tree is normal. And where are we on this pathway? There's like a winding pathway here. It's kind of hard to see though because the tree's in the way. It could be actually over here. Oh wow, that was really close. Nice. We got full points for that one. All right, last call. If you want to get in on the MOP Classic Epic Key giveaway, only NA, OC, Americas, etc. Oh, we see the alliance ship there. Exclamation point giveaway in the chat. Okay, so this is where there's the Rolling in the Deep quest. It's in the wilds, but it's in the grassy part that looks normal. And there's an alliance ship in the distance. And then there's horde ships in the distance too. So this is what we're seeing in the distance, I think. All this shit over here. And we're up the hill. And then there's the Rolling in the Deep. I think it's like right here. Let's see, where's that hill? Here's the bluff, actually. So we're overlooking that bluff. It may actually be like over here. What does the ground look like? Okay, so this is coming out of the town. No, we've been doing number crunching, man. Dude, why do people come to stream and then if for 2 seconds I'm not doing what I've been doing the entire other time, they think I'm not doing it? Yo, we got it. Okay, I actually fucked this one up so bad though. Cause I mistook the purple for the pink. Or I mistook the, yeah, I was supposed to do it over here in the pink. I was like looking for those fucking stairs and I'm like, yo, I don't see those stairs. So I just got the guess like, oh, maybe it's like one of these things. That's pretty good. All right, let's pull our winner. Entries are closing. 3, 2, 1. Meh. All right, let's pull our winner. Okay, Minglum, are you NA? Or are you European? Because only NA, OC, Americas. Where are you? Also, if you don't respond soon, I'm going to give it to someone else. Also, there is a second one to give away. So even if you didn't win, don't worry. We're going to be doing the second one. You got to respond, though. If you don't respond, then you're cooked. I'm going to give you... Start a stopwatch. I'll give you 2 minutes to respond. You've got 2 minutes. Okay. Yeah, we'll just cover this again real quick. So, again, disclaimer is that not all of these are probably entirely correct, especially like the arcane ones. They're probably wrong in how they're playing. So, I think Spellslinger is probably going to come up a bit. Also, it's not a good way to know what the meta is just looking at Sims. It's much better to play the raid and see what fits well for the bosses, but we can't do that because the testing's over with. The only thing we can really test is Mythic Plus. The next best thing is just to sim them all at different target counts, see where it does damage, see what it's good at, and try to make some assumptions about the raid based on what we know from testing and based on yeah, how we're feeling about this and based on the numbers. So that's what we've kind of been looking at. And then I made it so that the ones that are good are in green. And everything else, if it's white, that means it's within 20% of green. And if it is red, that means it's behind. Okay, he hasn't responded yet, dude. You have 40 seconds to respond. The scaling is just making everything look close. Are they actually that close? Okay, so I can actually turn this down and we can see it with easier scaling. Here, let's do this. If I go to setup and then let's have this only go to 5 target F. Right here, easier to see. Okay, hey, they haven't picked up their key, so I'm gonna pull another one. All right, you lost your chance. Earthquake, are you in A? Are you here? See if you are. Well, I mean, we may have to go again. Oh, okay. Oh, they're here. And are you in A, Earthquake? OC is fine too. What region are you from? Or playing on? Oh, you're EU? Aw, sorry. Better luck next time, bud. Alright, let's do another one. Apologies. Okay, yeah, I would give it to you, but it literally won't work for your region. Sorry, I mentioned that before. Okay, so Polichen, are you here? Remember, guys, if you don't win, I have another one to give away, so just keep that in mind. And while they have time to respond, we'll reset this. So I cut it down so it's a little bit easier to see here, right? I can even make it scale a little different too. If I do a log scale, it's easier to see the difference, right? It's like single target fire and frost, 2 target frost, 3 target fire and frost are tied, and then arcane starts taking over from there. But that kind of gives us an idea of which is good where. All right, Polichen, are you here? You've got 1:30 to respond. Let me know what region you're in. Should we resume entries since so many people are AFK? Chat, should I resume entries? People just applying and leaving? Yeah, they ain't gonna fucking win if they do that. Sucks for them. We'll turn it on just for a little bit. In 40 seconds if he doesn't respond. Yeah, if you apply and leave, like, I don't know what you're thinking is gonna happen. You think think I'm gonna fucking chase you down across Twitch? And then you're gonna tell me that you're EU and I can't even give it to you. That's what's gonna happen. Set the timer to 40 seconds or something? No. It's okay. The suspense is content. It's part of it. Okay, we're closing the entries. Or, sorry, we're pulling you guys. You guys aren't winners anymore. Apologies. Bye-bye. Okay, resume entries. Okay, for the next 2 minutes, you can enter this one. Sorry now. Exclamation point giveaway. Only NA. Do not do this if you're EU. You can't win, I'm sorry. It's not up to me, it's up to Blizzard. Don't blame me. If you don't get a message reply, that means you're already entered, by the way. Okay, you have a minute 30 to continue. If you guys are already in, don't worry. You don't have to re-enter. You've got 1 minute 15. I'll be right back, but keep entering. 1 second, BRB. Okay. I'm a whale roar. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Thanks for letting me be your Prime guy. Okay, we're cutting this off. Now, entries are closed, and let's pull another winner. ODAWGXD. Oda Wegs. Are you here? 2 minute timer starting now. If you ain't here, you ain't winning. Oh, dog. No, it's Oda, dude. Like the author of One Piece. It's Oda Wixt. Okay, you've got... Oh, I didn't start the timer. You've got like a minute 30 to respond. AFK gamer, dude. Oh, dog, XD. Respond now or forever lose your prize. Destro, thank you for the Twitch Prime. 2 months, appreciate it. Forgot I had a Prime sub. Enjoy these Bezos bucks. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for letting me be your Prime guy. Yo, O-Dog. Are you here? You've got 1 minute. You're about to lose it forever. Dude, if people win and they aren't here, I think we should take... They should have to, like, give us a new prize, you know? Like, not only do they not get their prize, they have to give us a Epic Edition to give away. So then we'll have 3 today instead of just 2. All right. You got 30 seconds. You've got 20 seconds. You've got 10 seconds. And you're done. All right, next one. V4 Esgaroth. Are you here? V4 Esgaroth. Are they even here in the chat? I can't even at them. Guys, you have to be here to win. All right, you're fucking done. Next. Let's see here. Flex, you can't even enter your EU. Denny. Oh. Hey, Denny, what region are you in? What's your WoW account region? Very important question. I'm proud of NA, dude. Let's go. God bless America. We finally have a fucking winner. All right, we have another one, though. Let me start the raffle now. Okay, you get one, and I will start this up. 1 second. And boop. Okay, next one. Hit it while it's hot. All right, giveaways are open again. Or entries, I meant. Hold on, let me DM this man his key. Or woman. 1 second. Okay, whisper, then the test. DM me back, Denny, whenever you get that test, okay? And I have your code, and I will be very careful to deliver it nice and safely to you. Here is your code. Smile. Okay, and closing that box. That way no one else can see it. All right. Good to go. No leaks. No leaks. Let's play another GeoGuessr round real quick. Mr. Pandaria, GeoGuessr. We go again. Okay. We are right outside the gate. So we're basically like right here. I think. Hold on. Is there... Yeah, it's right here, right? And then through the gate is where you fight that big boss. I think it's actually this gate up here. With all the bells on it. Can we see the red tree? Yeah, this is that red tree. And then we're on this side of it. So we're like right here. Yeah, that was really good. Almost full points. We're 5 points off. All right, next. Okay, so Jade Forest, near the water. This is where all the Jindo people are, the fish peoples, right? They're like right over here. Oh wait, no, this is where the monkey quest is. There's like a quest where you, as the Horde, you like assassinate, or is it Alliance? There's a quest where you fucking snipe people. I think it's a Horde quest. And then we got like a hill. God, where the fuck is that? Oh, and there's this shrine over here too. I think it's like in this area. Hold on, let me look at the other water. It's not here. Yeah, it's not here. It's got to be in this area. I think what we're looking at here is these buildings. So one of them is okay, so there's a waterfall here right next to us. And then there's an island with one really close to us. So we gotta look for the waterfall. Here it is. Here's the waterfall. Okay, so we're like right here, okay? So the waterfall is like a little to our right. And we're like up on the bank. And if we look down, we see this tower right here. Yeah, this is it. Oh, I was pretty close. Okay, we were just a little too close to the waterfall. How do we get tickets? Exclamation point giveaway. It's only for NAOC. What the fuck? We're inside of a tree. We're actually inside the root. Okay, that's weird. Look, dude, we're in the tree. This is cheating. It's gonna be hard. Sorry, no EU, because the key just will not work for EU. Not my choice. Just how it is. Okay, we're on the south or the west coast of this area, I think. And then we can see the wall. So we gotta be like somewhat near this wall. The trees are green. That's a good sign. The trees are green, they're not white. We're actually a bit away from that wall. So I think because we're like seeing the coast here, I think we're actually... We're looking downhill. We're actually on this side. We're like at the base of this tree, I think. Tully had the EU and NA winner and both worked like 2 weeks ago. Oh. It says, okay, let me read the email. These keys are only usable in North America, South America, and Oceanic region. Yeah. Womp womp. It may be a different thing. They might have a different kind of key than I do. Okay, anyways. So, yeah, we're at the tree. We're looking at the wall. We're, like, inside the tree. I'm gonna put us, like, actually inside the fucking tree. Or it's like a root, right? Can we see this lake? No, I think we're on, like, this side of it. There's, like, a giant pine cone next to us, too. I think that's the pine cone. I'm gonna say we're, like, right here. Wow, that was pretty close. Oh my god, another one in the same zone? Alright. It's actually kind of close too. Oops. Wait, what just happened? How do we go back? Where were we initially? I need to go back. Return to start. Oh, dude, you can fucking move around in here? Okay, that's cheating. I didn't know that. You can actually just walk around? What the fuck? That's allowed? You're allowed to do that? I thought we had to just guess from where we were. Okay, I feel like the game, that like changes everything. That makes it like way easier. Holy shit. Yeah, so we're like right next to this pool. The pool's on this side of us. The ramp is literally right over there. We're right next to this fucking log. We are literally right here. Boom. Yeah. Oh, this is too big of a log. It was this log. I got baited. Either way. Okay, Jade Forest. This is the area where... Wait, I think that's the training? Or no, it's like a town. What's this way? Mushrooms. It's kind of densely forested area, not really too much. There is... Oh, shit! Okay, it's actually somewhat close to that lake from before. Here's that lake, I think. Yeah, here's that lake. So we got these structures and then the big lake. Alright, we know where this is. Let's go back home. Okay, so I just gotta find this little structure. And we'll be all set. I think this might be it, actually. So, we're like right here. Wait, is that too far away? Oh, we might actually be like in this mountainy area. Yeah, there's that water. There's like bones over here too. So there's bones on this side, and then we have this structure on this side. I don't know where the bones are. I don't know if it'll show up on the map. But I think we're like right in this area. Nice. Okay, much better showing that time. I only knew halfway through that I could move around. We haven't seen any Kunlai Summit. We haven't seen any of this. I forget what this one is called. We also haven't seen any Timeless Isle or the Dino Isle. The Throne of Thunder area. I feel like we kind of got scammed on this thing. How long steps? Yeah, there we go. It loves to choose the Dread Waste, though. Yeah. I don't get why it likes this zone so much. Okay. I don't know why I didn't scorch on the opener. I pressed it, just didn't go off. Let's start over. No, we made too many mistakes there. Too busy talking about why the scorch didn't work. It's kind of weird having this much haste. I feel like maybe I want to back it down a bit because I feel like I'm like right on the threshold where I can't scorch anymore. I wonder if I remove just ever so slight amount of haste, if it would let me do that. We'll have to wait until we get less proc. What's my haste or my scorch cast time? 0.993. Okay. We'll have to see it with Bloodlust. What is the most fun mage spec on PTR for me? Sunfury. But I like to hit a boss, not a target dummy with it. It's very fun when you can hit bosses. I really wish there was more PTR testing, man. It would be so nice. I like how it tells on you now. This group has one or more players that have been flagged as a Keystone Deserter. Dude, if you're a DPS and you get Keystone Deserter, you are so cooked. You're fucking done. Yeah, something weird's happening with my spell queuing. Hold on, let me check my spell queue window. Oh. That'll do it. Yeah, for some reason my spell queue window on PTR was like not real. Okay, we have normal spell queue again. Posting a Mage Discord asking why preheat does low spell Q window. Yeah. It was low. It was less than 100. I don't know why it was so low. I did just like reformat again because I got a new CPU. So I had to like copy all over my files again, all of my files. So yeah, it's probably something to do with that. Sunfury better for Arcane as well? Yeah, I think so. See, improved Scorch just feels weird whenever this can happen. Wouldn't you agree? Like, I feel like improved Scorch is just like a bad talent and they should probably do something about it. That was weird there. It's weird. I actually heard it click. I was kind of tilted from that and I missed that GI. I actually heard it click for my pyro, but it didn't go off. Can you cue it with a macro? Hold on. Sunfury Arcane feels amazing though. Love it. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Sunfury Arcane does the Jangbi Surge, Defo S tier spec. Wait, what? What the fuck are you talking about? What does that mean? Hold on. Tell me more. What are you talking about? The Jangbi Surge. Can you describe what that means? Didn't you watch Hopeful yesterday? Yeah, I did, but I had audio turned off. So did I miss a meme? You think I want to listen to him, dude? No, I'm just kidding. I actually had audio turned off because I was cleaning up in my room. What talent are we gonna play as Sunfury Arcane for Mythic Plus? Good question. I'll show you right now. So there's two different builds, single target and AoE. Let's grab both. Cast Surge, then Evo halfway through it, then Magi. So you have Evo and Magi for Soul. Wait, hold on. So cast Surge, mid Surge you Evocation, and then you Magi at the end so that you have... Okay, that is so cursed and I don't believe that. I actually tested this before whenever Arcane Soul was lasting like forever. Whenever they first released the tier bonuses. And what I would do is I would Evo into Surge, and then at the very end of my Surge, like the last, let's say, 4 seconds of Surge, I would send my touch there, and then I would ramp my fucking Arcane Soul up, which is barrage, until the last 5 globals of it, and then I would do missiles, barrage, missiles, barrage, And that shit was crazy, actually. I think it was, like, it didn't last until, I mean, honestly, it didn't even last a couple days. It was, like, pretty much instantly gone, but I think it would have been a thing if it had somehow lasted. It wasn't as bad as you would imagine? Interesting. It does kind of suck that you're wasting evocation. But if it's, like, somewhat close, that's actually nice, because it means you can, like, completely screw up your cooldowns and be fine. I think that's actually a good thing if it's close. Okay, so here's the talents for single target. Fury of the Sun. Yep. Okay. Wait, what? Is this for real? 1 into Arcane Debilitation. No Aether Attunement, but Lay Drinker? Chat, is this real? Hold up, dude. Hold up. We gotta check this. Where is it? Okay. Oh, I don't want that to be named Sunfury AoE, but if I change anything there, it's gonna make me redo everything. Nope, not doing that. Okay, we just go with it. Fuck it. And then let's find the APL. Here's the brain. Extract the brain and put it inside of our test subject. And then tell him to go fight. It's like creating a little monster. Alright, and while that runs, let's look at what the crab has for us. So I actually checked the crab ones. I did not check single target. I found the crab orb to be my favorite. I like the crab orb build. I'm going to show you the crab orb setup. This is what we're working with here. So let's just save this for now. We'll check it later. And then if we're getting crabby, we're going to do this one. SF crab orb. Crab orb. We're going to do Aether Attunement. We're going to have orb and harmony. Hold on. We're something to screw here. Oh yeah, it's fucking touch. That's right. Now this. We need harmony and we need... Let me take that out. We need the orb. Crab orb. No Magi Spark. What are my thoughts on Flame Shaper versus Scale Commander? Flame Shaper seems to be the way right now in Raid. For Mythic Plus, who the fuck knows? We'll see when we get there. It's not going to be good in Mythic Plus, I can just tell you that. You're going to play Og. Sorry to tell you that. That's going to be how it's going to be. Yeah, it is what it is. It be what it do. Okay, crab. Yeah, so this is a crab because he's got like 2 little fucking pinchers. See him? Like here's his pincher on the left. Here's his pincher on the right. Here's his little face. And then here's his little body behind you, right? Legs on the side. So you can kind of see the crab, can't you? So that's our AoE build. Where's our single target? Okay, single target says... Oh, okay. It says, yeah, play that weird shit. All right, so single target is this, I guess. Let's just double check. Is it close though? Hold on, it is fairly close. Whoa, that's crazy. Okay, wait, so you're telling me Magi Spark is within 1%? Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Dude, I might just not play Magi Spark at all. Why even play Magi Spark, you know? Fuck that stupid spell. Yo, let's play this instead. This looks better. It's within... Hold on. We gotta do this again. I want to know if I take the cleave talent, what it looks like. Okay, so let's block some stuff. Block static cloud. Block high voltage. Let's remove this one. Let's remove this one. Let's remove this one. We'll give it access to this guy. We need resonance. Alright. Feel free to build yourself the way you want. And this will be with like a little cleave. Can I show you on the dummies? Yeah, I will as soon as I have a result here. Reminder, once again, if you are EU, you cannot enter. I'm sorry. But if you're not, if you're in AOC, South America, you can enter the giveaway for a Mist of Pandaria Epic Shaw-Touched Key. All you have to do is do exclamation point giveaway. And you will be entered, and I will be pulling that later. You have to be here. If you close the stream and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go get some ice cream. Yeah, you're not winning. I'll give it to someone else. You gotta be here. You have basically you have 2 minutes whenever you do it to enter. Or sorry, to claim your key. What comes with it? It's like a bunch of shit. Hold on. It comes with a bunch of shit. It's like you get the mount, you get the ground mount, you get the pet on classic and retail. You get like a transmog, you get a T set, you get 30 days game time, you get a free 85 boost on Mop Classic, and some other shit. Or you could go get ice cream. Okay, yo, this is just better though, because like if I have more than one target, like fuck Magi Spark, yeah? Yo, okay, so in Cleave, this is just actually better. Okay, I vibe with this, dude. This is how I'm gonna fucking play this. Hell yeah, bro. No Magi Spark. Magi Spark, overrated trash. Put it in the dumpster. Been saying that, bro. I've been saying that. I've been a big hater on Magi Spark since day one, dude. You love to see it when your enemies fall like this. Yeah, fuck Magi Spark, dude. Bro, I remember when they first announced the tier bonuses and I said like relationship with Magi Spark ended, dude. Immediately got a bunch of people telling me I'm crazy. I'm out of my mind. Nah, dude, I just saw through the matrix. I saw the truth. Alright, we gotta wait for our balls to grow back. Can't go in ballless. By the way, PSA for all mages playing Arcane or Fire, if you're playing Sunfury, you gotta let your balls grow back before you attack. Don't go in snipped, alright? Never be snipped. Stay hung. Or else you'll be sad. Okay. I have no idea what my gear is right now. What is it doing for its opener? Gotta send your raid leader an orb tracker for your balls, yeah. Pay attention to where my balls are at, because if I don't got balls, I'm not attacking. So Evo missiles, Surge, Ancestral Call. Wait, I don't like the sound of that. Magheart Orc? Wait. Hold up. Wait. Magheart Orc is going to be the best for this? By how much? By how much? How much best? I need to know. Copy equal dwarf. I need to know the difference, dude. PTR Sims real good for 5 minutes since you get pull and execute use. Yeah, that makes sense. Mr. Pre, what is your weak aura for Mage that you use? I'm using mine, but I added in some features from Porums, which are now not relevant anymore. Okay, that's like no difference. Okay, who gives a fuck? Alright, we're sticking dwarf. Let's go back. So anyways, Surge into touch, into blast missiles, blast missiles, barrage blast. We get glorious incandescence here. Glorious incandescence, another precision, barrage, blast missile. Okay, so this is like the same rotation as live. Wait, where's the shifting power? There's the shifting power. Okay. This isn't execute the whole time though. I'd like to not run Aether Attunement too, that'd be kind of nice. Just trying to see if I could get a clear cast there. I need to change the barrage now though, the barrage now is super wrong. Probably gonna run out of mana here because my stats are dog shit. Yeah, that's not good. We'll have to fix the stats. Okay, also I need to fix my barrage now being like super wrong. Also, it's annoying that you can't just arcane int yourself. More powerful spells already active. Like, what if I don't have familiar up? I have to click it off. It's so annoying. Barrage. Trigger. Harmony. 19 it should be. And this should load only for Spellslinger. Okay, good. And then this one, we need to get the latest version. Forum probably has a new one. Let's check. When was this last updated? July 7th. Okay, that's a long time ago. He hasn't updated this since July 7th. Okay, we gotta do this ourselves. Okay, so let's just get rid of this shit. Load never. And then we need to go in here and change. Actually, we can keep this. No, we need to keep this off. Okay, where is it? Brush helper light. I think this was part of the same package. This goes away. Load, never. We'll turn on lay drinker, that's fine. We'll turn on tempo. Okay, it's already on. We need to turn on intuition. We need to turn on nether precision. And we need our intuition tracker again. Where's our intuition tracker? $12 ago, so long ago? Yeah, I mean, we've had like 5 mage changes since then. It's probably more like 3, but yeah. Whoa, that's a big fucking brain, dude. Why is that so big? Okay, whatever. We'll just slap it there, I guess. Why is it so big? What the fuck? Hold on. Last time I installed this, it was not this big. Okay, let's try again. I'm just kind of mashing barrage whenever I feel like it. It's probably wrong. During Arcane Soul specifically. Oh, I need to fix another weak aura, I just noticed. Oh shit, that counter was off. Okay, I need to figure out why that was wrong. Whoa, there's some weird interaction with intuition happening. Not sure what that's about. Also, I need to add my trinket to my surge. Okay. Couple things I need to fix now. Let's see, Sunfury. Here we go. Trigger. Arcane Harmony is at 19. So if Arcane Harmony is at 19, stack count, yeah, and we're casting Arcane Blast. And we are also Spell Slinger. How do I add that in here? I think we just remove this for now. So if it's Glorious Incandescence, or if it's Intuition, or if we're casting, or if we have Bring the Power and we're casting Arcane Blast. Yes. Known talent with one of those talents. Yeah, I don't know if we can do that on the trigger, though. Can we do it on the trigger? I don't think you can do that on the trigger. It has to be a separate trigger. Or like a separate, we'd have to make a separate one of these little Flaming Hot Cheetos for that, I think. Because we... Or it'd have to be multiple. We'd have to add another trigger for if we have that talent. Yeah, macro, that's right. Okay. It's interesting not playing with Magi Spark. I didn't trust the counter there because it was off that other time, but I should have trusted that. We still need to fix our stats too. Our stats are all fucked up because we have like no mana. Maybe without Lust it's fine. Why can't they make Intuition just like deterministic and like fix the tooltip? I feel like that'd be a good change. Dude, it's so easy to accidentally queue a third barrage right now because they haste. See, it did it again. Yeah, I think the counter needs to go to 12 instead of 11. I think they changed it maybe in some minor way. It's like full execute though, so it's like cheating. Either that or the counter is going down for a spell that no longer counts it. That could be also the case. I should probably do 2 barrages at the start with my haste, because it's like constantly being the odd GCD. I just have too much haste right now. I'm gonna run here, I think. We're just gonna have to do an orb for the intuition and glorious incandescence. Oh, that was perfect though. Almost had like a slight haste proc there. Could just be like that I'm rusty too. I haven't played Sunfury Arcane in a bit. Been playing only Spellslinger on the PTR. Oh no. We gotta just go here. I had to clip the evocation because I didn't want to lose the intuition. I don't think that's right, but it just felt right. Yeah, I misspoke. It's actually perfect. The amount of haste. It's like very tight though. It's perfect for Arcane Soul. I don't think it's perfect for my mana though. My mana is in trouble. If I have Glorious Incandescence overlap with Intuition too many times, I'm just like totally cooked. Like right now. Okay. That's didn't execute the whole time, but it felt right. That feels pretty good. That was what, 8 minutes? Dude, those 8 minutes flew by. What talents? I'll show you. I'm going no Magi Spark. This is like a 2-target cleave build, but it doesn't lose too much in single target. It's actually fairly close. So not like pure single target build. Just looking for some extra cleave in there. No Magi Spark though. No Magi Spark. Okay. Giveaway. Let's see. How many people do we have in this bad boy? Lots of entries. Feel free to enter if you're not EU. Nothing personal. It's just how it works. I can't do EU on it. So if you want to get in on that, exclamation point giveaway. Have you done any PTR videos for dev? I haven't done videos for dev, but I have done live streams on dev. And we even talked about dev just like 30 minutes ago. We did a bunch of sims for dev and we found that basically Flame Shaper is the way, and it's like pretty much the same shit as now. Just little rotational changes, but for the most part, nothing's really changing too much for dev. Feels very similar to live. Oh, and it has to be on the Twitch. So if you're on YouTube, you just gotta put it in the command for Twitch, because Twitch is where the bot is running. It doesn't look at YouTube chat. I could pay to like have them combined, but seems like a little ridiculous for just giveaways. That's the price you pay for the better experience viewing. I think YouTube generally has a better viewing experience. It doesn't have the good, like the chat isn't as good, but I have them combined, so it's fine. You don't get to see the emotes, but I'd say overall I think YouTube is the better viewing experience. Do I try to get the code if I'm on EU and manage to win, given I'm fast and it doesn't waste time? I mean, you can try it. I don't think it's gonna work. If you have like an NA account that you also play, you could just get it there, right? That should work. So I won't exclude you for that reason. If you want to get it on an NA account, I know you probably have one, then I will not exclude you. Another round. Another Dreadwaste, dude? Ugh. Okay, we can see the wall from here. The ruins are this way. Here's the walkway to these ruins with like this web and shit. And then the wall is over here. I think it's like north in the Dreadwaste. I believe these ruins are like right here. So where did we start? So the ruins are to the north of us. So we're a little south of the ruins. There's a big ass tree next to us. And then there's the wall here. And what is that? Oh, we can see water. Okay, yeah. So this is actually fairly easy, I think, because we've got the water in the ruins. So we've got to be like right here at the base of this tree, I think. Wait, I think this is actually this one. So we're actually probably like right here. No, we have to be like here because the water is actually like fairly close. Is there other water? There is, but it's not near the green tree. Yeah, no, we're like right here, I think. Damn, that was pretty close. Ginger Pack, welcome back 2 months. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Oh, yeah, okay, so we're in the wilds, Kurzang Wilds, and this is like right next to where that fucking guy spawns with the mount. There's like a village over here. Which island though? That's a good question. There's like a ship in the distance. It's one of these little islands. Wait, hold on. We gotta look at this a little closer. Okay, so this is the town, right? This is this town. And then in between us, there's like a little island with like a log on it. Or maybe it's south. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it. It could be... No. I think the town we're seeing is... Is it this town right here with the big rock? This could be the rock, actually. Yo, wait, hold on. I think I found it exactly. Except for there's like a log in the way, too. Shit, maybe it's not this one. Maybe it's this town. There's no rock here, though. I think it's this one. I think this is the rock with the little house on it that we're seeing. And it's... So, like, where we're at is like a little... Oh, dude. Oh, dude. We're like totally... That's further away than I think it is. We're actually right behind this ruin thing, right? And there's like a tree here. And I think what we're seeing is this little guy right here. I think that's what we're looking at. So I think we're like right here, actually. Oh, dude, that was dead on. 5,000 points. Let's go. Okay. Stormstout Brewery right there. Hole in the wall right there. Ruins right there. Okay, yep. So Stormstout Brewery is right here. The hole in the wall is right here. The ruins are right here. We're basically like right in this area. So let's try to map it out. Okay, so here's the hole, here's the village. Here's another village, here's the brewery. Here's the ruins. We're kind of like in between all of it. So we're like in this area. And then where's the... okay, so there's like a little hill here. There's a yellow patch. We're actually right next to a yellow patch. There's actually 2 yellow patches here. Towards the brewery. And we're right next to one of them. Is there a formation here? I think we're actually like right in this spot. Damn, we're so close. So fucking close. Look at that. This is Mists of Pandaria GeoGuessr. We're playing it because Mists of Pandaria is coming out. Classic, and that's what the key is for. Okay, so there's a fork in the road here, and it goes under a root. By the way, I'm trying to artificially increase the difficulty by not relying on the walking. You can walk around and see like other areas, but I'm trying to like make it harder by not doing that. I might do it on this one though, because this is a little... Oh wait, hold on. That's the Claxy area. I swear to God, we've been in like this exact same position so many goddamn times. Just over the hill, there's the water. Okay. So there's like a hill here, and there's the Claxy area right next to us. This is the Claxy area, by the way. And we're at like the base of the tree. So where are we on this hill? It's like the road coming down from it. Yeah, it's like, I think it's like over here. We're not up on the hill. And then we can see the wall very clearly. Between us and the wall, there should be some like village shit over it in this direction. I think what we're seeing is this junk. Yeah, these cages. And then... yeah, we're like at the base of the roots. I don't think... okay, so there's like bones and shit next to us too. Do you see any bones here? Could these be bones? Ah, dude, the tree is so hard. It's like somewhere in this area though. I might just split the difference and choose here. Alright, fuck it. Oh, wrong tree. Fuck. Dude, we messed up. That was a different water. This is the water that we were looking at. Fuck, dude. Okay, we screwed that one up. It's hard because all those trees look the same. Alright, Kunlai Summit, right next to the gate. And this is where you've got the quest, where you take that hot air balloon right here. And then this is where the kegs are and the wall. Yeah, this one's easy. And this is going into the next zone. So it's like... wait, hold on. Where's this on the map though? You're in Kunlai Summit. You're going down towards the gate. This is where we are. It's right here. Here's the fucking brew. The thing is like right behind us. So we're like here, I think. Yeah, so there's this little village thing, right? And that's I believe that's like right here. Here's that tree. And then it's down the path, and then there's like this bridge that's out up here, right? That's like right above us. So I think we're like right here, actually. Holy fuck, that's like dead on. Okay, yeah, we screwed the pooch on this one. But the others were like almost dead on. Look at that. All right, last call, last call. Exclamation point giveaway. If you want this thing, it is the Mista Pandaria Classic Shaw Infused Epic Pack. NAOC South America is what the key is valid for. Comes with Cloud Serpent on Classic and Modern, Riding Tiger on Classic and Modern, Pet on Classic and Modern, different pets though. Shaw wrapped T-sets on both, and then the transmog on both, and then you also get a level 85 character boost and 30 days of game time. Last call, enter exclamation point giveaway. We're gonna be wrapping up here. All right, I'm gonna close it in about 30 seconds. I'm gonna start the timer now. This is how long you have until this hits 30. "15 seconds, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's closed. Okay. And let's pull a winner. You have to be here though. Landslide, are you in the chat right now? At Landslide. Can we at them? Are they here? It seems like they're here. Okay, Landslide, what region are you playing in on Mount Classic? What's your account region? What's your region? He's stalling, dude. He doesn't want to answer. Landslide, what region are you playing in? I'm not going to say until he answers. What region are you playing in, Landslide? Why is he stalling? All right, I'm giving you a timer, dude. You got 2 minutes to respond. Or else we're re-rolling this. I'm gonna be the man to pass the love on. I'm EU. Okay, good man. Hey, we still love you. All right, we'll pick another winner though. Sorry, I wish I could give it to you. Coffin Rot 20. Are you here? You get kudos though for like passing along. I don't think Coffin's here. All right, Coffin has exactly 30 seconds to show up, or else they're done, and we're gonna re-roll it. Coffin Rot, you have exactly 13 seconds to respond to me. You have exactly 10 seconds to respond. You've got exactly 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You honestly hate to see it. You hate to see it. Okay. Okay, Firecat Wow, are you here? Firecat Wow. It looks like they're in the chat. I'm EU. Okay, we go again. Thank you, Firecat, for getting straight to the point. All right. Listen, you still get kudos, though. You get brownie points. Supra. Supra, are you here? Looks like they're in the chat. Are you here, Supra? I am here. Okay, what region are you? I'm in A! There's a winner, dude! You feel like crying? I'm sorry. I wish I could give it to you. Like, I know I have EU and NA viewers, but they always do it for only one region. It sucks. I know. I'm sorry. Other luck next time. Alright, Supra, see if you got that DM. Test passed. Okay, here's your key. All right, Supra, here you go. Boom. All right, the key has been doled out. What an eventful day today. All right, one last recap, and then we're going to wrap it up. So, just for everyone who's new, let me just go over the whole thing from scratch. All right, so basically, we don't have any more testing. All right, but they have been doing changes like crazy. So what I did is since I can't test this in the raid, I can only test in Mythic Plus. Determining what the meta is going to be like looking at Sims is not a good way to know what the meta is going to be like. But what you can do is you can use it to see like what sort of bursts people have, like the damage profile, what they excel at, what sort of talents they might be good at using, and also like what target counts they might excel over the other specs with. That way, if you have a baseline of what the specs play like and what they look like, then you can take this information with that context. You can make assumptions about what might be good and what might not be good. Again, it's not a perfect method. It'd be much better to just play it in the raid. Unfortunately, raid testing is done. So what I did is the next best thing. I took a bunch of these and I ran sims for all the different target counts after determining which talents would be best. By the way, Spellslinger I think is probably a little underperforming. It's probably going to be a bit better whenever we actually get there because I'm using the old APL for it. So just for the record, Spellslinger is probably a little bit lower than it should be. So I took that information, I put it into the spreadsheet, and then I basically told it to like highlight the ones that are best for each category. So if they're green, it means the best. If they're light green, it means it's very close. If it's white, it means it's within 20%. Red, it means it's probably not good, the background color. And then I charted it to look at which would excel at what target count and kind of just tried to make some assumptions based on this and based on my experience in the PTR and my experience playing Mage for, 2 decades to figure out what might be good. And so with all of these things considered, all kind of in one package, I think Sunfury Fire's looking really fucking nice this tier. All right, I think they're cooking with it. Gameplay wise, it's a bit like how you play it right now, so it doesn't really feel too different. But I think it'll be very strong. I think Frost is also very strong. I think Arcane is also very strong. They're all strong. That's the thing. That's the secret about Mage, is all the specs are good. But I think if I had to choose one for the entire raid and just lock it in and then just only play that one hero talent for the entire fucking raid, I would probably play Sunfury Fire. Because I think it performs the best across the board and it loses the least amount of damage whenever it comes to switching up things for different talents. Because obviously you're not going to have 20 target burst scenarios in raid. And you could totally have, 3 targets, 5 targets, that sort of thing. It excels at that. So does Arcane. So does Frost. But I think the overall package is what we're looking for. And I also consider the defensive utility and also how much I enjoy the spec. So there's a lot of, you could say, bias included in this. But if you would have asked me this a couple days ago, I would have said Arcane. Now I've changed my answer with the new information to Sunfury Fire. But that being said, again, I think all of the specs are probably going to be good. I think you can play whatever the fuck you want. I think you're going to see people swapping specs throughout the raid to try different things out in the race world first. But I think on most fights, Sunfury Fire seems like the coziest and the best fit. So that's what I have in terms of information for you right now. I will not be linking this data sheet anywhere publicly, at least for the time being. I want to make sure I have correct data for Arcane before I do that, because again, Spellslinger Arcane, probably not accurate here, and I don't want to put out bad info. I can give you the disclaimer while you watch the stream, but if someone just sees the sheet, they don't hear me talking, they don't know the disclaimer, they don't know what's up. So I will be sharing this though, however, with a few people that are in my Metafy group, just because that's part of their benefits, is they get anything that I work on, as it's like, say, theoretical or like still getting figured out. I share that information with them. But yeah, if you're interested in joining that group, it is on Metafy. You can get there from my coaching link. Oh, I did couch. There we go. That's the right one. Why am I misspelling this? Couching. Coaching. There we go. I can spell really well. Yeah, exclamation point couch. No, this is not JD Vance stream. No couch jokes. Anyways, that's going to be it for today. So thank you all for watching, and we'll be back again tomorrow, likely, with more PTR stuff, and I'll try to get this updated again once we have more info. Yeah. All right. See y'all. Love y'all. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Congratulations to the winners. Don't forget Mr. Pandera Classic coming out soon. Looking forward to that, although I am very sad that it's coming out at pretty much the same time. And the only other thing I'll mention is if you're looking for a new CPU and you play WoW a lot, definitely make sure that you get one of those X3D ones, dude. That changed my life. I'm on that X3D life now, and it's fucking amazing. Do not sleep on the X3D, the AMD new CPUs. They're actually insane for WoW. The performance increase was just like mind-blowing to me. So I gotta just, even though it's not sponsored, this is not a hashtag ad, I just gotta tell you, the X3D is fucking sick. You gotta get one if you play WoW. Like, if this is your game that you play and you're not using X3D, you're actually trolling, straight up, because they're cheap too. Anyways, yeah, AMD sponsor me. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.